Shyamila. Good afternoon. I know this is the last session of the conference. You already have a lot today, right? You already heard a lot today. Lot of information, lot of technologies, and many wonderful talks. And honestly, it's always a little bit hard to me to do the last keynote session after this great lineup. So I will try my best to keep it up to the bar. So let's move into the topic today. So this talk is not about becoming a district engineer. Did I disappoint you?
Yes.
It's about few simple qualities that all of us already have. I didn't plan any of this. I wasn't, when I start my journey, I wasn't optimizing my career. I wasn't chasing titles. I wasn't had planned long-term strategies. I was trying to learn, to build, and to do right thing in front of me. Today, when I look back, so this is what I realized. I have been practicing a few simple qualities again and again, even without thinking about it. Over time, dots connected. So rather doing another technical talk, I would try to share a story about ordinary qualities practiced extraordinarily. So let me take you where it all started. I was born in a small city called Anuradhapura. That's where I started my education at Anuradhapura Central College. And in our childhood, computers were not a part of our life. And also English also quite foreign for us. Later I moved to Colombo, studied at Aranda College. And from there I was selected to study computer science in the University of Colombo. Today, looking back, I can see clear one thing, that where you start doesn't limit where you can go. A set of simple qualities made the difference. So let's start with first one. So some of the qualities I think Ruchit already mentioned. So I am sharing the same kind of qualities. First one is a curiosity. So this was around 1999, my first year at University of Colombo. So computer science, operating system was not taught at that time. It was scheduled in third year. But I heard operating system called Linux. I didn't know anything about it, but I was curious. And I got a Red Hat 6.1 CD from my friend, from one of my friends, and I decided, okay, let me try this. I want to install in my machine. I had a very old machine, not powerful machine. When I start the installation, my machine became totally unusable. Almost 3 weeks, I couldn't use a single day. Every day I tried to install Linux, and every day something went wrong. And at that time, there was no internet at Colombo University General Lab, and no internet at my home either. The only option, I had to go to library and find out any installation material or Red Hat, and come back and try it again. Sometimes it went a little bit further and stuck again. Go back again, library, read it, and come back again, try it. So this cycle happened many times. So after 3 weeks, I was able to install Linux. The important part is, so I was successful in Linux, but after looking back, learning Linux changed my entire career journey. Not only the Linux itself, but because what it experience taught me. curiosity doesn't wait for permissions, and also determination don't let you down. And curiosity around Linux opened the door for my next chapter of my life, which is the internship. In 2001, I joined a company called iTaps initially as an intern. At this time, I knew Linux. And importantly, I started really enjoying working with it. So iTaps was a small startup, and it's building product and solution on top of Linux and open source projects. And my internship is something different like normal internship. So I was working with real system, real users, with the real responsibilities. My first project was implementing a school accounting system for Muses College. Entire system was implemented using PHP, MySQL, Apache, and Linux. And I was responsible for entire system design, database design, application logic, implementation, deployment, and support. And I left iTaps after 2 years. This is where I learned the product mindset. So building software is not about writing just a code. It's about owning the problem, users, and long-term outcome. And I left iTaps after 2 years, but I was maintaining this accounting system for another 10 years. That's also something I learned early in my career. When you build something important, your responsibility doesn't end even your job does. I think Sanjay also touched this point in the first keynote. So, and this is the kind of coming for the ownership as well, what Ruchit mentioned. So, if you build something, and you move to a different place, you can't say I'm not responsible for the previous one. In iTaps, I did a couple of other major projects. This is one other project I did. So, I was implemented PBX telecom solution for major telecom operator in Sri Lanka. And we are competing with Huawei. It's a $500,000 worth of project. So entire system was implemented by using Asterisk, Perl, PHP, MySQL, Apache, and Linux. I was responsible for architecture, design, and the implementation. At the end, we didn't get the project, not because we had the feature gap, mainly because we are a small startup and competing with very established company Huawei. But something important happened. For the first time, I truly believe that we could architect and build a system at that scale, even with a smaller team. So that's changed my confidence. I had a lot of confidence now. I can, even single person can compete with a larger company. So at this point, Linux gave me the foundation. iTaps gave me the responsibility and product mindset and the confidence. Next quality is about self-learning. Self-learning is something I practiced throughout my journey. I can share a lot of stories around self-learning. Let me share one story I had in my university days. In our 4th year, so there's an optional subject called distributed computing. Dr. Nalin Ranasinghe was taught that subject, and Dr. Nalin Ranasinghe was famous for two facts. So basically, Dr. Nalin taught a very complex subject. Second point is, he is very tough on the grading. Because of that, very few students want to try do the subject. But I was very interested, So I thought, okay, I will do that. Then at that time, I was fully working at ITAPS. But because of this complex subject, I thought I will go to the lectures. And I checked the schedule. It was scheduled in the second semester. Then I waited until second semester and come to the university again and see, okay, where are the lectures? I couldn't find the lecture. Then I asked a couple of my friends, okay, so Dr. Nalin has finished all the lectures at the first semester and went on sabbatical in the second semester. So I was clueless. I was lost. So no lecture notes, nothing, but exam is on. So I had two choices. Either I have to drop the subject or I had to learn on myself. I took the second option. And I started learning distributed computing just by Googling. I read a lot of papers, a lot of articles, but when the exam times, I was very confident. I sit for the exam, I got A+. I think the grade is not relevant, but the matter is, I was what I learned from about this with this exercise. So if I take a very complex abstract problem, I can break it down and learn deeply. That's why I realized this is one of my qualities. So later in my career, whether it was a new architecture or new domain or any technologies no one around me fully understand, I relied on the self-learning as my default. So next quality is about the entrepreneurial ownership. This is where I met Sanjeeva. So throughout my asterisk project and I was a very active member of Lanka Linux user group. Because of that, Sanjeeva reached me out, and initially it was a very technical discussion, but it converted into the bigger opportunity. So together, along with Buddhika, Sanjeeva, and I started a company called ThinkCube. When I started ThinkCube, I didn't know anything about running a company. I just wanted to do something useful, something challenging. But just after the start the ThinkCube became my learning playground for running a company. At ThinkCube, we are not just writing code. We have to understand what's the customer requirement, what are the things, what are the problems we need to solve, and what are the trade-offs we need to do for the business sense. This changed the way I look at the technical problem. So I stopped asking only, is that the best technical solution? Rather, I started asking, is the right solution for the business at this moment? And this taught me to look at the bigger picture. So after ThinkCube acquired, Buddhika and I had to work another 3 years as the acquisition agreement. So after 3 years completed, I joined WSO2. So joining WSO2 is not a new beginning for me. I was there from the day one when WSO2 started. So this photo is taken at 2005 at Merchant Tower. Ruchit is also there. So Buddhika and I was responsible for the entire WSO2 network, including mail server, Jabber server, Asterisk server. So we were the sysadmin for WSO2 while we are doing the ThinkCube. And after that also, I was engaging as a consultant in WSO2 different projects. One of the projects was, I did a project called Ozone Cloud. It's something a mini AWS, Amazon AWS. that we are running within the WSO2 data center, and within the WSO2 we use for a lot of testing, lot of products. The entire system was architected and implemented by myself. So after joining as the full-time employee, Stratos 2 was my first responsibility. At that time, Stratos Live was success. We are running all the WSO2 product in the Stratos Live cloud. But Stratos 2 is something different. We want to run other technologies with the WSO2 technologies in the cloud. So I had to look at what's the matching architecture, what are the extendability, how is the resiliency, then design the new Stratos 2. And also, not only the implementation, my responsibility was taking Stratos 2 to the Apache Foundation. So within 1.5 years, we was able to take Stratos to the Apache Foundation and graduated and become the top-level project. And also, community voted, and I was appointed as the vice president of Apache Stratos. So this is where something I realized with this experience. The large-scale influence doesn't come with authority. It's coming from the trust and the meritocracy. And trust and meritocracy emerge when people believe that you understand the technology, you understand the business, and you understand the people. Next one is the volunteering. When you start contributing openly, other people see your intent, your depth, and your willingness to help. And WSO2 has many volunteering opportunities. This is one of the volunteering opportunity. Aziz, Sumedha, and I group up and did this project. So the motivation of this project was we want to showcase that we can run WSO2 product in a small footprint. So to show that, we thought of, okay, shall we run on Raspberry Pi? And going further, we said, okay, this is 2013. Shall we run our WSO2 conference mobile app in an app server cluster that's running on Raspberry Pi? So when we started this project, Raspberry Pi was a very early stage. Even you can't run JVM on Raspberry Pi. So a lot of challenges. So I had to compile the kernel first, and then able to run JVM inside the Raspberry Pi. Then later I was able to compile another kernel, and I was able to run LXC containers within the Raspberry Pi itself. So this is a photo taken by Paul night before the conference at Park Plaza Hotel, London. So Aziz and I trying to troubleshoot a issue, network issue. So we noticed there are time to time there are some packet, some access are not responding. But later we identified it was not a software issue. It was mainly because of the voltage fluctuation make the Raspberry Pi network module unstable. Okay, next one is influence to the education. This is something I practice to overcome some of the challenges. In 2013 and early 2014, I have seen two major new technologies has emerged, Docker and Kubernetes. And I realized that these two technologies will disrupt the industry. I want to bring these two technologies into the WSO2. But I had a challenge there. At that time, WSO2 was like a fully focused on Java-based implementation. It was challenging me to get that other technology into the WSO2 itself. So I took a different approach. At that time, we had, I think, 22 products. We had 22 product team. So I conducted a 22 workshop, hands-on workshop. I sit with every product team for 3 hours install Docker in their machine, create a Docker file, Docker image for their product, and run within their machines. Then each product team realized how they can use advantage of this technology. Same thing happened when we introduced in the ePPF technology, because these topics are not complex. It's complex, not easy, and lot of question. The adaptation is very slow. But so influence at scale is not about the speed. It's about the patience, clarity, and consistency. And by looking back, this is where I realized some of the importance of my role. So being effective at scale is not about writing majority of code. It is about seeing what is coming and start the right conversation early and helping the organization to move together through the complex changes. And with this trust built over the years and led to recognition myself as a decision engineer in later stage. This is another quality I was practicing throughout my career, evangelism. More than 90% of what I know today, I learned from resources freely available. From blog posts, articles, videos, talks. So ecosystem provide a lot of resources to build myself. And also I felt a responsibility I should give back to the ecosystem as well. And this is something I often tell to my junior engineers. When you try to explain something to someone else, you quickly realize how you don't know fully understand it. So evangelism is not about showing expertise. It is one of the best way to build it. So these are some of highlights of my evangelism activities. I have been I was spoken at 20 plus WSO2 conferences and 15 plus international conferences and 12 plus meetups around the world. And also I was published 15 plus articles, and also I conducted 2 MSc lecture series and also delivered multiple guest lectures around the university in Sri Lanka. And I was also co-author our first ever ballerina programming language book with my colleague Anjana Fernando, Ruchit brother. So I think the numbers is not the important part here. What matters is the habit. And so all behind my success stories, I have been lucky to have very good friends around me. They encourage me, they challenge me, they push me to the next level. So I have not been here with this help from my good friends. So thank you for all. And among these good friends, I want to mention 2 special people. First one is Asanka. Asanka has been many things to me over years. A friend, a mentor, a colleague, and someone who always encouraged me to think bigger. This is around 2014. This is where I practicing influence over education. Asanka always encouraged me. And Asanka trusted my intent and also appreciate my work in that influencing over education. So thank you, Asanka, for that. And everyone has role model in your life. So Sanjeev was my role model. I learned a lot from Sanjeev, not only the technologies, but about the leadership, responsibilities, and importantly, how to build something bigger than yourself. This is the last year where Samira, Joe, and I recognized as distinguished engineer. So it is something remembered for a life. So Sanjeev is not here. Thank you for believing me, trusting me, and shaping my journey in ways you may not even realize. Before I end my talk, I want to thank another one group of people. So, for my family. So, my kids are grown by watching my journey. Late night, long calls, busy days, but never complain. So they understand what I do is not about the work, what I do is what I love. And thank you for patience and trust and your belief in me. As the end of my talk, when I look back, nothing I shared about today was not extraordinary on its own. So I like to give this takeaway. Don't focus on titles. Don't optimize for recognition. Focus on the work in front of you and do it well, consistently. The rest has a way of following. Thank you.